Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Benita Putri Pambudi. You can call me Amanda. And my student ID number is 123241166. And welcome to this solo podcast for my Western cultural final assignment. And then today I will discussing a highly significant and at times the controversial chapter in history in Indonesia about the CIA secret operation in Indonesia. And I choose this topic because I believe it's crucial for us to understand how foreign influence shape our political landscape, especially during the Cold War. Okay, let's start with the basic. The CIA, or Central Intelligence Agency, is an intelligence service established by the US government in 1947. Its main goal during the Cold War was to prevent the spread of communism and to protect American political and economic interests around the world. And then Indonesia under President Sukarno became one of the key concerns for the CIA, and Sukarno was a strong advocate of the non-allegiant movement, but he also maintained close relation with the Soviet Union and China as two major communist powers. This made the US uneasy. They feared that Indonesia might fall into the hand of communists, which for the CIA a worst case scenario. And one of the clearest example of CIA involvement was during the PRRI and the Permesta rebellions in the late of 1950s. And then CIA provide weapons, phones, and even training for the rebel force. And then in 1958, an American pilot named Alan Pope was captured in Sulawesi after his plane was shot down during a bombing mission. His arrest relieved a direct CIA connection to the rebellion and caused a major diplomatic scandal. And then Sukarno strongly condemned foreign interference, and this even solidified his belief that US was trying to destabilize his government. But the CIA didn't just stop at military intervention, but they also ran extensive the psychological and operation or propaganda campaigns to damage the Sukarno reputation. There are reports that the CIA even produced and spread a fake pornographic film featuring someone who resembled Sukarno. And then the goal was to tarnish his image both at home and abroad. They also funneled support to anti-communist Islamic parties in Indonesia, to hoping to create internal division and push Sukarno further away from the left. And this was a subtle but dangerous form of foreign manipulation. And then they designed to weaken a national leader without direct conflict. Fast forward to 1965, the darkness captured of all after the cheat 30th incident, the Indonesian military, led by General Suharto, launched mass arrests and killings of people accused of being members of the Indonesian Communist Party or PKI. And then, according this to scholars like Vincent Bevins and his book The Jakarta Method, the CIA provide intelligence and possibility even lists of PKI members to the Indonesian army. The result was horrifying. Over 1,000 people were killed, possibility even more. These killings were praised by Western countries because they eliminate the communist presence in Indonesia. But for Indonesia, it was a traumatic and tragic period that left deep scars. After these events, Suharto rose to power, replacing Sukarno and establishing the authoritarian New Order regime, and that his government was pro-Western, anti-communist, and received strong support to the United States and its allies. The shift in power significantly changed Indonesian political path. The CIA intervention didn't just remove our leader, it repressed the nation's future. And was not just happening in Indonesia. It is also similar tactic were used by the US in the other countries like Chile, Argentina, and Brazil. Indonesia became a testing ground for what would later be called Jakarta Method. Now, here's the hard part. How should we view all this? Yes, the CIA's success in stopping what they saw as a threat, but at what cost? Hundreds of thousands of lives were lost. A democratic process was delivered, and this raises serious ethical questions. Should any foreign power be allowed to interfere in another country's politics, especially violence, propaganda, and covert operations? Scholars like Bhaskara Wardaya argue that this was a form of soft colonialism, where power wasn't taken by force but through manipulation and control from behind the scenes. So, to wrap it up, the CIA involvement in Indonesia was real, strategic, and deeply impactful. From supporting rebellions to manipulating public opinion, their actions changed the course of Indonesian history. And while the Cold War is long over, its effects are still being felt today. Yeah, thank you for listening. I hope this podcast has helped you to understand a bit more about foreign power have shaped our nation, past, and why it's so important to be critical, informed, and aware of the force that continue shape our world. I'm Amanda, and this is was my commentary podcast for WCC, and that's all for me. Thank you. See you next time.